When firefighters need to use the hydrant, they simply open the valve, usually using a special hydrant wrench to release the pressurized water, allowing them to connect hoses to the hydrant nozzles. Multiple nozzles. Wet barrel. Welcome to Electro Tunes CEWP. In today's video, we're going to dive deep into a critical piece of firefighting infrastructure that you've likely seen on street corners and in front of buildings: fire hydrants. These essential tools play a major role in controlling fires, protecting property, and saving lives. But have you ever wondered how they work, why they are so crucial, or what the different types are? Well, in this video, I'll cover all of that and more, so stick around until the end. So, what exactly is a fire hydrant? What is a fire hydrant? A fire hydrant is a valve connection used by firefighters to access water from a pressurized water supply system, usually located underground, to fight fires. When a fire breaks out, firefighters need quick and reliable access to water, and fire hydrants provide that. They are typically located along streets, in residential neighborhoods, and near commercial or industrial areas. Fire hydrants are connected to water mains, which supply large volumes of pressurized water and provide an essential link between firefighters and the water they need to extinguish fires. Now, let's look at how fire hydrants work. While the basic principle behind all hydrants is the same, the operation varies slightly depending on the type of hydrant. Water supply connection. A fire hydrant is connected to the municipal water supply system, which carries water under high pressure through underground pipes. These pipes are constantly pressurized, ensuring that water is always available when needed for firefighting. Hydrant valve and nozzles. Fire hydrants are fitted with a valve that controls the water flow. When firefighters open the valve by using a special wrench or tool, water flows through the hydrant. Hydrants typically have several nozzles, usually 2 or 4, that allow firefighters to connect hoses of different sizes. These nozzles ensure that multiple hoses can be connected simultaneously, which is essential for handling large fires. Operation process. Firefighters will use a hydrant wrench to unlock and open the valve, which is usually located at the top of the hydrant. Once the valve is turned on, water begins to flow from the nozzles. The pressure and volume of water are often controlled by the municipal water system and the size of the hydrant. After the fire is extinguished, the valve is turned off and the hydrant is secured for future use. Drainage system. In many fire hydrants, especially wet barrel hydrants, water drains out once the valve is closed to prevent freezing in cold climates. Some hydrants, like dry barrel hydrants, use a system that ensures water doesn't stay in the barrel and pipes, preventing freezing in winter months. Benefits of fire hydrants. Now that we understand what fire hydrants are and how they work, let's take a look at some benefits of fire hydrants. Subscribe and get ready for exclusive content, giveaways, and more. Let's take a look at some benefits of fire hydrants. Rapid response in emergencies. Fire hydrants are critical during emergency fire situations. Their primary benefit is the immediate availability of water. In the event of a fire, firefighters don't have to waste time searching for water sources. They can quickly connect hoses to the hydrant and start putting out the fire. Improved firefighting efficiency. There are a few different types of fire hydrants, and each one is designed for different environments and needs. Let's go over the most common types. Wet barrel hydrant. What it is, the wet barrel hydrant is typically found in warmer climates where freezing isn't a concern. In these hydrants, water remains in the hydrant barrel even when the valve is turned off. How it works: when the valve is opened, water flows directly from the barrel to the nozzles. Once closed, water drains out of the valve and back into the system. Faster to operate, as no additional steps are required for drainage. Dry barrel hydrant. What it is, the dry barrel hydrant is common in colder climates where freezing is a concern. In dry barrel hydrants, the water is stored below the ground level, and the hydrant barrel itself remains dry when not in use. How it works: when firefighters turn on the valve, water flows up from underground piping to the nozzles. After use, the water in the barrel drains out to prevent freezing. Prevents freezing in cold climates, which makes it more reliable in winter months. Post-indicator valve hydrant. What it is, the post-indicator valve PIV hydrant is used primarily in industrial areas or places where more security is needed. How it works, the hydrant is attached to a valve that can be closed or opened remotely, and it's usually found in combination with a larger, more secure water supply system. Advantages: ideal for areas requiring control of water access. Desensification-resistant hydrant. What it is? Desensification is the process where brass materials degrade due to exposure to water over time. To combat this, desensification-resistant hydrants are designed to be more resistant to corrosion. How it works, they use specialized materials like bronze or stainless steel to prevent the corrosion typically caused by zinc content in traditional hydrants. They have a longer lifespan and perform better in harsh environmental conditions. Maintaining and inspecting fire hydrants is critical to ensure they function properly when needed. Here's what's involved: regular inspections. Join our community and get exclusive access to our best content.
Fire hydrants should be checked at least annually to ensure they're working properly. Inspections include checking for leaks, ensuring the valve opens and closes easily, and ensuring that no obstructions are blocking the hydrant. Cleaning. Hydrants should be cleaned to remove dirt, leaves, and other debris. This helps prevent blockages and ensures that the nozzles are ready for use in an emergency. Testing water pressure. Testing the water pressure at the hydrant ensures that it's high enough to fight fires effectively. Hydrants should maintain pressure within a certain range to be reliable in emergencies. Repairs and upgrades. If any issues are identified during inspections, such as damage to the valve or corrosion of parts, repairs must be carried out immediately. Upgrading older hydrants to more efficient or durable models is also a common practice. To wrap up, fire hydrants are an essential part of any community's firefighting infrastructure. They provide quick access to water, ensuring that firefighters can tackle fires head-on without delay. There are different types of hydrants for varying climates and needs, but all serve the same essential purpose: to protect lives, property, and resources. Remember, regular maintenance and proper use of fire hydrants are crucial to ensuring they perform when the need arises. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.
Deeper understanding of wet barrel fire hydrants. When we talk about fire hydrants, one of the most common types is the wet barrel hydrant, and it's important to understand exactly how it works and why it is designed the way it is. Wet barrel hydrants are commonly used in areas where freezing temperatures aren't a significant concern, so let's explore their components and features in more detail. A wet barrel fire hydrant is a type of hydrant where water remains in the barrel at all times, even when the hydrant is not in use. Unlike dry barrel hydrants, where the hydrant itself is emptied of water to prevent freezing, a wet barrel hydrant is kept pressurized and filled with water, making it ready for use immediately when the valve is opened. This design is typically found in warmer climates or in locations where freezing conditions aren't a major concern. Key features of wet barrel fire hydrants: 1. Constant water supply. In a wet barrel hydrant, water is constantly available in the barrel, and the water is under pressure from the municipal water supply system. When firefighters need to use the hydrant, they simply open the valve, usually using a special hydrant wrench to release the pressurized water, allowing them to connect hoses to the hydrant nozzles. Multiple nozzles. Wet barrel hydrants are often designed with multiple nozzles, typically to 2 for nozzles. These allow firefighters to connect multiple hoses at once, which can be critical in larger fires that require more water flow. The nozzles can be various sizes, with some designed to accommodate larger hose connections for high-volume water delivery. Pressure control. One of the benefits of wet barrel hydrants is that they allow for immediate access to water at full pressure. Because the hydrant is always filled with water, the firefighter can connect a hose and begin to fight the fire without delay. The pressure that comes out of the hydrant is determined by the municipal water supply system. Typically, the water pressure is high enough to fight fires effectively, but can vary depending on local conditions and how the water system is set up. Drainage. In warmer climates, wet barrel hydrants don't need to worry about freezing. However, some wet barrel hydrants are designed with drainage ports that allow for any excess water to flow out when the valve is closed, especially if the hydrant is used in areas that can experience temperature fluctuations. Some wet barrel hydrants might have drain holes at the base or a small valve that allows water to drain out after use, ensuring that water doesn't remain trapped inside and cause any issues with pressure or performing. Become a part of our community and help us grow. How does a wet barrel fire hydrant work? Here's the step-by-step process of how a wet barrel fire hydrant operates. Wet barrel hydrants are connected to the municipal water supply, typically through underground pipes that carry pressurized water to the hydrant. Water flows from the system into the hydrant and remains in the hydrant barrel under pressure, ready for use at all times. Accessing the water supply. When firefighters arrive at the fire and need to use the hydrant, they open the hydrant valve. This is usually done with a hydrant wrench, which is designed to safely turn the valve and open it. Once the valve is opened, water is released under pressure from the nozzles, and firefighters can then connect their hoses to these nozzles to begin extinguishing the fire. Continuous water flow. As long as the valve is open, water flows freely from the hydrant. Wet barrel hydrants are usually designed for high flow capacity, meaning they can supply water at a sufficient rate to fight even large fires. The pressure in the hydrant ensures that the water flows strongly through the nozzles and into the firefighting hoses. Closing the valve and shutting down. Once the fire has been controlled, firefighters will close the hydrant valve to stop the flow of water. In most wet barrel hydrants, the water remains inside the barrel even after the valve is shut, but some systems include drainage features to ensure the hydrant remains free of excess water and doesn't become obstructed by debris or stagnant water. Advantages of wet barrel fire hydrants: immediate availability. One of the main advantages of wet barrel hydrants is that they provide immediate access to water. Since the barrel is already filled with pressurized water, firefighters can start using the hydrant right away without needing to wait for water to fill the system. Point to simpler operation. Wet barrel hydrants are relatively simple to operate compared to other types. Opening the valve gives instant access to water, and there is no need for complex draining mechanisms or worrying about the hydrant freezing in most climates. Cost-effective because wet barrel hydrants don't require elaborate drainage or insulation systems to prevent freezing. They're often cheaper to install and maintain than dry barrel hydrants, making them more cost-effective for municipalities in warmer areas. Effective in warmer climates, wet barrel hydrants are especially useful in warm regions where freezing temperatures are not a concern. They can be installed and remain effective year-round without needing special equipment to handle cold weather. Subscribe now and stay up to date on our latest content.